Hello, how are you? I thought it would be nice to read to you one of my favourite stories. My mummy and daddy used to read this to me when I was a little boy, a long time ago, and I thought it would be really good to listen to this story. It's about a little sheep who gets lost, and it's based on a story that Jesus told in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15. Here we go. It's called The Little Black Lamb. Once there was a little black lamb who lived with his mother in a field. All the other lambs in the field were white, but this lamb was quite black. He loved his mother very much, and he used to run and jump all round her and bump his woolly little black head into her woolly white side. He used to play with all the other lambs in the field too. They would chase each other and run and jump and skip and hop and have lots of fun together. But sometimes the little black lamb got tired of the field, and then he would go to the wall which went round the field, and he would climb up a little way where some of the stones had fallen down, and he would peep into the next field. The next field was a very nice field. The little black lamb thought it looked much nicer than his field. The buttercups looked bigger and more juicy, and the grass looked very thick and very green. Ba, ba, don't ever go into that field, his mummy would say to him, or you might get lost. No, mummy, he would promise in his little high-up voice. Mammy. But one day, when he went to look over the wall, he saw that some more of the stones had fallen down, and it was quite easy to climb right over into the next field. So he put one little hoof onto the wall, and then the other little hoof onto the wall, and he gave a little kind of hop and a little kind of jump, and the very next minute he was right down in the field he had looked at so often. Just for a moment he felt rather frightened, and he stood quite still to see if his mummy had noticed and was calling him. But she wasn't. She was with all the other grown-up sheep, all talking about their lambs with their heads close together, and she never even noticed that her little black lamb had gone. So when he knew that no one had seen him go, the little black lamb ran out into the field and began to nibble at the lovely juicy buttercups and the daisies and the green grass. And every time he stopped to nibble, he saw another clump of buttercups and daisies a little further away, and then he would run and begin to nibble that one. And sometimes he gave a little hop and a skip and a jump all by himself, because it was so nice to be out of his own field. When he came to the wall at the other side of the new field, he found a place where he could get over, and over he went. And so he went on and on and on, farther and farther away from home. One time, he thought he heard his mummy calling, "Ba, ba, ba, ba." But he pretended he didn't hear and just ran on. And he never answered her as he always used to do, "Mammy." At last, he began to get tired, and he thought he would go home. The sun was sinking in the sky, and it was beginning to get cold. He thought of his mummy's nice, warm, woolly side. So he turned round and began running home again. At least, he thought he was going home. But he wasn't really, because he could not remember the way he had gone. And after a while, the ground began to get very rough and stony. He was scrambling up a hill now, and there were brambles that caught in his black wool, and the stones hurt his feet, and he went slipping and sliding. At last he fell down and cut his leg, and there he lay quite still, crying because he knew he was lost. The sun had gone, and it was beginning to get dark. He thought of his mummy, and he called, "Mummy," in a very high-up, squeaky little voice. But he was a long, long way from home, and his mummy couldn't hear him. Away back in the field, the shepherd was looking round, counting all the sheep and the lambs before bedtime. "Where's my little black lamb?" he asked. "I don't see him anywhere." "Ba, ba, we don't know," the little black lamb's mummy said. "I think he must have run away. He is rather a naughty little lamb, and he doesn't always do as I tell him. Ba, ba." And her voice was very sad. "I'll go and look for him," said the shepherd. "I love your little black lamb too, like you do. Stay there, all of you, till I come back." So he left them and started out, carrying a lamp in his hand, and he went looking and looking everywhere for the little black lamb. And as he went, he called and called. And at last, as he was climbing a steep hill, he heard a little voice answer, "Mammy." And there was the little black lamb, lying all by himself on the hillside. And the shepherd stooped down, put his lamp on the ground, and took out his handkerchief and wiped the little lamb's tears away. "I'm sorry I ran away," said the little black lamb, and he really was sorry. "You won't ever do it again, will you?" said the shepherd. And he tied his handkerchief round the little lamb's leg. "No," the little lamb promised. "No, I will never run away again." Then the shepherd picked up the little black lamb in his arms, and the lamb thought that the shepherd had the kindest, most loving face he had ever seen. Who do you think the shepherd was? Why, Jesus, of course. Down they went through the stones and the brambles, all the way back home. But the little lamb wasn't frightened anymore, because the good shepherd had him safe in his arms, and he knew that the little lamb was sorry. Jesus had forgiven him. And wasn't his mummy glad to have him home again?